Okay, YouTube, this is me bored, and the reason why I'm bored is because I'm reviewing Finger Eleven's Them vs. You vs. Me. Now, this came out in 2007. They are a Canadian rock band, and they had modest success in the United States. The main song you're probably going to know them for is Paralyzer. Now, once you hear that song, it's pretty recognizable. It's got a hook that stretches and really, is replayable. But unfortunately, a number of reasons why this denotes that they're not going to last very long. They kind of have, but it feels limited. Number one, this is the first song you hear on the project. When the biggest single is the first song you hear, it usually means that the album is not that good. And number two, the follow up singles really did little to no damage in terms of recognizableness. Now, I will admit the second song, Falling On, is pretty catchy also, but really, out of 11 songs, you should be able to get more than 2 songs that are hitting. It doesn't matter if you're Canadian, Venezuelan, Chinese, the style of metal is pretty much the same. Now, obviously, I know there can be arguments to the fact that, well, they're not metal, they're more alternative rock and hard rock and some post grunge, but I don't even hear traces of that on here. What I hear mostly is hard rock mixed with the occasional song on the side that attempts to be acoustic or a very soft pop rock or post grunge song. That's what I kind of get. It just feels misguided because the songs that intend to chart fail at it, like they're trying to do the Daughtry thing, but it doesn't work out that well. So obviously, the song Paralyzer is definitely a hit, and I still think, 10 years later, it continues to be. It's got a real disco rock feel to it, so it's more like a club song if rock ventured into the club, which I like the idea of that, but there's really not a single song like it on this album. This is hugely unfortunate because it probably, if they had made 1 or 2 more songs like Paralyzer, I bet they would have charted. But this is the only song you hear like it. Falling On is very close, almost moderately close, but that's about the only song worth its weight in gold on this album. Now, this charted okay in the United States, but then there was a third single, and then that about wrapped it up. I'll Keep Your Memory Vague is one of those Daughtry and kind of acoustic songs that I was talking about, and it just kills the energy completely. If you go from Paralyzer to I'll Keep Your Memory Vague, it just feels like some sort of dance or something. It's just, you go from a fast song to a complete nosedive in energy, and it just doesn't work at all. But yeah, so I just found myself wanting more upbeat songs on this project. There's a lot of mishmash of things, but they don't really excel at what they do. So a song that was close, there were a couple close songs, which was Lost My Way and Sense of a Spark. But seeing as they only had 2 singles, and they probably only had like 3 or 4 singles in America, not many. They usually get 1 or 2, but not more than that. The songs that chart here in the United States are really spaced out, so it's just kind of disappointing. But I'd like to support them because of how much I like Paralyzer and Falling On. They don't blow, but it does need work. That's kind of the thing, is I'm just looking for more, most definitely. So this album's going to get, me liking 2 out of 11. That's about a tenth of, I'm going to give it a 1.5 out of 10. And besides that, basically the singles are the only thing worthwhile. I don't think that there would be any album cuts just because it needed more to carry the project. So, social score, I will give a 3.5 out of 10 just because it did have 2 hit singles. I guess I could give it a 4. This just means how well it plays around your friends. I think most of you will probably like Paralyzer, but you'll be left scratching your heads when there's not too much else to listen to. So 4 out of 10. Falling On is what I would go for afterward. I'll Keep Your Memory Vague is the third single if you're interested. And then there's Talking to the Walls, which was released only in Canada as the fourth single. But both of these, they just are not up to par. So subscribe for more fun. The Future, they dropped an album in 2015, and I bet they'll be back. They had one album, two albums between this 2007 album and where their most recent. So it just depends upon how I feel as to whether or not it'll happen. I want to, though. I'm going to say that. But alright, subscribe for more fun.